Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Will Markland. This video is a collection of texts obtained by Jay Smith between Angela and Jamie about a year before Jamie died. These texts contain heavy amounts of gaslighting and accounts of mental abuse by George towards Jamie. I will be reading their entire text conversation. I apologize if my pacing sucks. I'm used to non-speaking roles, so I don't have a lot of practice. Feel free to mute the video, however, make sure you unmute at the end as Jay will come on and talk about how we got the information and reflect on what we've heard so far. Jamie says, Jesus, Angela, thank you so much. I've been scrambling all around town trying to figure out where on earth I'd be able to find an extra $60+ or more to add minutes. I play with it though every time I get someplace with Wi-Fi. Thank you a million times, thank you. Angela says, you're welcome. Jamie says, boss man here is pretty upset. I was out on the deck so long. What if I fell or needed you? So I gotta stay in here and watch TV with him till he goes to sleep. Didn't mean to cut you off, but he panics. It's pretty much the whole job here, just being sure he knows somebody's around. Anyways, I'm not trying to be mean or ignore George, just trying to keep a peaceful air around me for a bit longer now that I'm finally sober and medicated again. But my hope is that George will realize that yelling at me and bombarding me with calls and texts is not any way to make me want to see him sooner. Fingers crossed he calms down enough to actually talk when we do sit down. Thanks for talking to me. I'll call or text tomorrow. Angela says, okay, have a good night. Jamie says, I tried to get that stupid bitch a chance and all he could do was start right with the same fucking horse shit. He is his own friggin' worst enemy and he can't see it cause he's dumbass thinks everybody else is quote out to get him. Now that I tell the asshole I have to go back to work, stop texting me. What do you think? Of course, I'm getting 550,000 fucking texts so that I have to turn off my damn phone now and then he'll have shit to say about me ignoring his texts. He's psychotic. Now Jamie's phone kind of messes up here and the first thing she sends is this email text that George had sent her and then sends her reaction after. You are fucking user. Think I like you better drunk. You're going to sit there and play stupid after everything and know how I felt? That's fucked up. User all day and night. My feelings fucking don't matter. God fucking damn it. My life has been on fucking hold. The sacrifices I made just to be told this matters will take a loaded gun and shoot me in the face. Devalued once again. Mind fuck is what this is. You led me to believe we had our fucking chance. God damn you. Rot in hell. He's scaring me now, for real, Angela. I'm trying to freaking sleep, and I have an appointment tomorrow, and I can't goddamn sleep because I woke up to pee, and my phone's flashing with 100 friggin' text message and voicemails. Then my dumbass listened for 1 second, just to see how flipped out he is, since I know I'm gonna have to be downtown tomorrow. And the second one was not too long ago, and don't know why it's sent now, but the first one is what he sent me when you were talking. How are you doing? I'm alright. I'm so much better now since I've been away from George, it's almost funny. It's as if the moment I stepped away from him, his mess, the sky opened up and all these blessings fell on me. I'm not particularly religious, but with the quickness with which I've accomplished so many things is on top of each other is a miracle for sure. And George still harasses me daily, hourly sometimes, consistently trying to tell me how bad my life is without him. That's what's really funny. He doesn't know how good things have gotten for me so fast. He thinks that he knows everything, but he doesn't get that I'm scared for him to see even for a moment. Scared that he'll jinx all of my good fortune, so he stays out of the loop until I'm absolutely certain that I can handle his shit again without letting it carry me back over the edge. Angela says, I'm glad things are going well for you. Jamie says, I've even started working a permanent job. I'm desperate to keep it a secret though, since he pulled that crap at my last job. Going in, talking to my boss, I'm assured at this place though won't take that. The owner don't take any shit, and he keeps a gun on premise, which he's not afraid to point at someone whomever he feels he should. He's foreign, and apparently I'm not the first girl to work with him who has a persistent fellow in my life. He said to let it go too far with that guy, so no worries if George wants to try and cause me grief. But I still would much prefer to keep this simple tiny part of my life just for me. It's a very relaxed place, unlike anything I've done work-wise in a very long time. It's like to hold on to the calm, keep it as peaceful as long as I can. Are you still not speaking? Angela replies, no, I don't talk to him. Jamie says, That's good. I'm glad. It was really amazing to see how soon my life was so much better in every imaginable way when I stopped letting him into my head. Yeah, he will mess up your life. He is good at that. I'm glad you found a job. Jamie says, I'm just going to keep thinking he's drive by and see me and starts the same shit. Angela says, don't tell him where you work, and I doubt he'll be able to figure it out. He is not that smart. Jamie replied, for now it's a huge blessing, and if it works out, they don't pay for training, so I haven't made any money so far. But the girl I worked with last week told me she's leaving in 5 weeks, and she's got all the money shifts, so I should be straight. He always finds out by following me after he spots me outside walking like on the main road, so I've been walking the alleys, but once I've got tips on me, I'll just take the bus. I'm still worried about my things at his house. I could really use some of that friggin' stuff, but I'm not ready to deal with him yet. And he hasn't said anything about the stuff yet. Angela says, does he text you a lot? Sorry, I don't write a lot. I suck at texting. Jamie replies, oh my god. He's actually gotten a little bit better, believe it or not, though. Angela says, I think he drives around looking for you. I was talking to him once when he thought he saw you on the street. He turned around to check. You should get a car soon. Jamie says, I have thousands of dollars I owe in fines before I can get my license back, let alone pay for a car. I wish. Angela says, do you qualify for a restricted driver's license? Asks the DMV. Jamie says, yes, I do, but I have to start a payment plan to qualify. The friggin' payment plan is pretty much to pay the whole thing. They say since it's been inactive for so long term, my account was closed due to the court and sold to a collection agency. The cool thing about that is they're willing to take a reduced sum if I could have made any kind of payment, like for only a few more than my down payment would be, which is required to even start any payment plan with them. Just for a bit more than I could have payment, and I could have settled the whole damn thing. Gary made noises about paying to settle it for me since having a car would be such a huge help to him, but he was just noise. When I got the settlement post offer, all he was like, oh, that's not bad, you should do that certainly, and I can help you with that because it will help me. Then at some time I passed, I said, we're not really going to pay off the fines to that law firm, are we? Once I make the down payment, which was like 1,200 before, don't know how much interest has been added up since then I've got to pay 115 towards federal fines and 85 I think to the state, but all of it could have risen. Some interest is always a bitch. I know I won't be much more than 500 or 150 to 200 a month once I can knock off that chunk with the first deposited amount. Not a lot, but still more than I needed to be putting out consistently while I'm on trying to figure out rent for myself. I probably need roommates. I was hoping my old roommates would be receptive, but they're pretty much done with me after the shit George pulled when I was over there. Angela says, just so you can drive to work, that is expensive. What did he do? And doctor's appointments, therapies, medical stuff. Gary, the old guy, would have me doing, which would be a ton. Gotta tell you later, my boss just came in, I gotta go. Angela says, okay. Angela also says, sorry my phone dropped the call. Jamie says, you're fine, call me back if you want, my phone's about to die. Phone is garbage. She gave me a cheap phone. I had him blocked for a few hours, and when I had enough of his bullshit for a while, so he started in again about how you sent me a crap phone so you would look generous and kind while really you just wanted to fuck with me and him by giving me a phone and he still can't reach me. He's unbelievable friggin' retarded. I had to unblock him though because he started calling Gary's house phone at 11:40 at friggin' night. Woke the old man up and freaked him out, so now he's up watching TV convinced that George is going to come here. He keeps looking outside and bitching about it being my fault. Letting this weirdo wriggle into my life. He's really mad that I haven't called the police. Says if I don't get the police involved, if George continues this way, he has no sympathy for me and wants no part of it. So basically, George has successfully destroyed another one of my relationships with someone whose company I actually enjoy. I know now he won't ever stop this shit. Not until he's completely alienated me from everyone that I love. Not until he's taken everything from me. It's not going to happen, Angela. This is it. I won't bug you about it anymore tonight, though. I'm going to try to get Gary to calm down and go back to sleep. Talk to you later. Thank you again and again for the, quote, crap phone. I love it. Angela says, you are welcome. I want you to know that you are not legally liable to pay a gift back to him, so you don't owe him anything. Jamie says, I know that rationally, but at the same time he drives me practically nuts, constantly bringing up how much he's done for me. He actually claims to have saved my life more than once. I don't know where the hell he came up with that, but it's one of his favorite things to say. And he brings this shit up in front of people we know and complete strangers, always trying to look like a freaking hero. God, you could hear him say, you should hear the friggin' stories he tells people. He tries so hard to make it seem like he really takes care of me, as if I'm mentally challenged and couldn't live without his assistance through every daily activity. Then too, sometimes out of nowhere, he will tell me that I need to thank him because he's done so much and sacrificed much and suffered so much for me. The man is obviously and totally delusional. Oh, you know what's really funny? I showed his Facebook pictures to a girl I work with because she wanted to know who keeps calling, and all she could say was, ew. I just said, yeah. Just saw that you called. I think I forgot to turn the phone back off to do not disturb. I'll talk to you tomorrow because I only got up to pee when I saw the light flashing and that you'd messaged me. Good night. I can't call back. He says I woke him up again, so no one can hear me on the phone. I should go to sleep, but I don't want to piss him off any more than he already is. George is already after George's stunt earlier. Talk to you tomorrow. Angela says, good night. Jamie says, good night. I will call you back as soon as I can. Ugh, and this motherfucker didn't fucking pay me like we agreed again. Cheap fuck. This shit is going to freaking kill me. I need to ditch all the dead weight in my life and start fresh. Angela says, George told me several times tonight that he is going to burn your stuff for not seeing him. I told him not to do it. Jamie says, he told me to rot in hell. He wants me to go to jail. Angela says, you might want to get it out of there. Jamie says, I've got pictures and the old man actually saved receipts for the shit that he bought me. Angela says, that is good. He has gone off the deep end. Jamie says, I told him I'd see him soon. Jesus, he is always and all the time, just now, now, now. He doesn't care about shit but himself. I tried to see him twice this week. He said he couldn't. That's what he gets for trying to play hard to get. See, Gary thinks it's stupid and doesn't want me to talk about it around him. He says to let the police handle it. Angela says, George is mad that I told you about the gift thing. Angela says, sorry, phone dropped the call. Jamie says, I hate him so much. I just woke up from a nightmare where he was chasing me and I finally got away. And I was hiding, but he found me and he was just laughing and singing that he will always love me and he's never going to stop. I want to die. All right, after finishing those really disturbing messages, we've got Jay Smith with me here. He's the reason we have these text messages. Welcome, Jay. Thank you for getting these for us.
No problem. Nice to talk to you again, Will.
How'd you come across these text messages?
So, on behalf of Homegrown Investigative Services, Henry and I are still doing our research and private investigation work. And Henry had given me a tip that he had heard from the Whalens that there may have been some texts between Jamie and Angela. So I went ahead, got a hold of Angela, and got a hold of these messages. And I think it's pretty clear to see what a low-down piece of fat shit George really is.
Yeah, have you ever seen someone talk like that to another human being before?
I've seen people not even talk to their dogs as poorly as he spoke to Jamie. I don't know if anybody would call that loving somebody.
I thought it was really disturbing how Jamie said that George repeatedly told her that he saved her, even though she was clearly, feel threatened by him and didn't want anything to do with her or do with him.
Yeah, not to mention the part where, in those messages, it's pretty clear to see that the abuse is totally out of control. Angela, in those texts, indicates that he was going to burn her things, which is controlling, abusive, and absolutely insane. So I think it's pretty clear to anybody with common sense to see the abusive monster that George really is.
I thought it was really terrible when Jamie was trying to look for a place. She said that she couldn't live with the people that she used to because George would come around and they didn't like George and they didn't want George near them. So George basically cost Jamie a place to live.
It's pretty clear to see that the control, the threats towards a vulnerable woman were really out of control. Nonstop harassment of not only her, but everybody else, around her that was legitimately trying to help her. Instead he was committing some predatory stalking, if you will.
Yeah, and she even talked about how Gary, the old man, felt threatened by him.
Well, that's George's MO. He goes after some old man. He goes after someone with a severe drug addiction. He went after Piss 4400, who was also mentally ill. He's always looking for somebody lower to pick on rather than finding somebody his own size to pick on, which, with the way he looks now, would be kind of hard to do.
Yeah, it would be hard to do. All right, Jay. Well, thank you for coming to talk about this real quick and keep up the good work. We are in your debt.
Anytime, Will, anytime. And George, polish that urn, bitch.